Kamala Harris, The Truths We Hold, An American Journey. In The Truths We Hold, An American Journey, Kamala Harris takes us through her journey from being the daughter of immigrant parents to becoming a fierce advocate for justice as a prosecutor, attorney general, U.S. senator, and the first woman of South Asian descent and the first African-American woman to hold those offices. Through a series of personal and professional anecdotes, we witness the various challenges and lessons she encountered while fighting for equality and the rights of the marginalized in the United States. The book offers an insightful look into the life and career of one of America's dedicated public servants and the experiences that shaped her progressive values.
Kamala Harris's roots. Kamala Harris, the daughter of Shyamala Gopalan and Donald Harris, was born in Oakland, California in 1964. Gopalan, a doctorate in nutrition and endocrinology, was a civil rights activist who met her husband, Donald, during a protest in Berkeley. While growing up, Harris was heavily influenced by her parents' heritage, with her mother coming from southern India and her father hailing from Jamaica. She was inspired by lawyers like Thurgood Marshall and Constance Baker Motley and hoped to follow their footsteps. Despite facing challenges like moving to Montreal during her childhood, Harris's strong-willed nature enabled her to flourish and dream of a future in which she could champion justice. Kamala Harris's journey at Howard. Kamala Harris attended Howard University, a historically black institution that provided talented black students with the education other institutions denied them. At Howard, she found her place and participated in various activities, including joining a sorority, chairing the Economic Society, and honing her rhetoric in the debate team. During the weekends, she protested against apartheid in South Africa and interned at the Federal Trade Commission. After graduation, she decided to become a prosecutor despite skepticism from her family. She was determined to do things on her own terms and champion equality. Kamala Harris's life-changing experience in Alameda Court. In her final year of law school, Kamala Harris had an internship in the office of the district attorney. It was here that she first discovered what kind of lawyer she wanted to become. A defining moment in her life came late on a Friday afternoon in the Alameda County courtroom, where she witnessed an innocent woman who needed help. The woman was going to spend the weekend in jail, but Harris rushed into action, pleading with the clerk to bring back the judge so he could listen to the case before the court closed. The judge arrived just in time, and the woman was set free to go home and have dinner with her children. This unforgettable experience taught Harris the importance of using every scrap of power to see that justice was done. Kamala Harris, from failure to an officer of the court. Kamala Harris, a deputy DA in Oakland, failed her bar exam on her first attempt despite having secured a job. Her employer agreed to keep her as a clerk while she prepared for a resit. She eventually passed, and her principle during her work was that every crime against an American is a crime against society. Prosecutors like her can help the less powerful by making justice a collective endeavor. Prosecutors' words partly decide people's fates and determine if charges should be brought and which charges. Although they have the power to deprive someone of their liberty with a flick of their pen, they also have limits. Harris learned this when she tried to get a 6-year-old girl molested by her 16-year-old brother to narrate her story but couldn't articulate it to the jury. From prosecutor to politician. Kamala Harris's journey from a prosecutor to the race for DA of San Francisco. In 1998, Kamala Harris was already a seasoned prosecutor, having worked for 9 years in the Alameda County DA's office. She was offered the role to run the career criminal unit at the San Francisco DA's office, which she accepted despite the dubious reputation of the office, which had a poor conviction rate and a toxic working environment. Harris attempted to make changes, but the problems were too severe for one person to handle. However, her distinguished work in the Division for Children and Family Services under Louise Wren, the first woman city attorney, set her on the path to elected office. Harris spearheaded a novel approach to sexually exploited youths by establishing safe houses for former juvenile sex workers. This meaningful work reinforced her belief that she was capable of delivering innovative policy solutions. Meanwhile, the DA's office was struggling to retain talented career prosecutors while violent felons were getting off without punishment. Harris, convinced she was the right person for the job of DA of San Francisco, launched her campaign for the post. Harris's experience as a prosecutor and in the Children and Family Services Division highlights her dedication and ability to effect change. Her quest for higher office was born out of her belief that she could make a difference where others had failed. Kamala Harris, the fight against mass incarceration. Kamala Harris began her campaign for San Francisco's DA with a mere 6% poll in her favor. Despite the challenge, she was inaugurated in 2004. Harris ran for the job because she knew she was up for the task, but also saw a need for change. The DA's office was due for a revolution. Her victory was an achievement, not only for being a woman of color in a justice system that fails to represent America's diversity, but also for her policy proposals. Harris's friend Latifah had committed a minor offense as a juvenile. Had Latifah gotten caught today with a small amount of marijuana, she would likely be in prison. In 2005, Harris launched Back on Track to assist first-time offenders. Instead of entangling these people in the criminal justice system, the program immerses them in job training, literacy courses, and parenting classes for a mere $5,000 a person. 2 years later, the program proved to have a recidivism rate of just 10% versus the average of 50%. With the prison population of the U.S. being 2.1 million people in 2018, mass incarceration is an affront to justice. Harris's campaign for the San Francisco's DA office was the beginning of her fight for change. Kamala Harris's journey to U.S. Senate. Kamala Harris, a progressive DA, throws her hat in the ring to replace the liberal Senator Barbara Boxer. Her hard-fought campaign to become California's Democratic senator was won in November 2016. In her acceptance speech, Harris becomes a fierce opponent of Trump's immigration policies. She believed that these cruel policies were also counterproductive. One of Harris's first acts as a senator was to push the incoming Secretary of Homeland Security, General John Kelly, to declare that he wouldn't use personal information given by immigrants to deport them. Despite Kelly evading her questions, Harris's vow to fight for equality never stumbled. Harris's fight for Central American asylum seekers. Kamala Harris, a former Attorney General, secured pro bono legal assistance for undocumented children and sponsoring nonprofit organizations with $3 million, emphasizing the need for legal representation for asylum seekers. Given her familiarity with the problem, she took the lead to fight against Trump's decision to revoke temporary shelter status for immigrants from El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. The policy of separating children from their parents at the border also came under her sharp criticism, leading to the end of the practice in June 2018. The broken healthcare system. The current healthcare system in the U.S. is broken and in need of transformation. Despite spending more on healthcare than any other OECD nation, outcomes remain poor, with decreasing life expectancies in some areas. For-profit healthcare providers, rising insurance premiums, and medical bills are causing financial ruin for many Americans. Kamala Harris proposes reconceptualizing healthcare as a right, ensuring coverage for everyone regardless of their ability to pay. This can be achieved through a single-payer system funded by taxation. Additionally, increasing funding for research and development can close the innovation gap left by profit-driven pharmaceutical companies. It's time to prioritize results over profits and make sure that getting sick doesn't lead to bankruptcy. Harris's fight against injustice. When Kamala Harris first joined the U.S. Senate, she was urged to avoid the Select Committee on Intelligence due to its confidential matters of national security. However, Harris was eager to take up the opportunity to learn about the threats facing her constituents and country. Little did she know that the committee would soon become the center of public attention after an intelligence report exposed Russian cyber operations attempting to influence the 2016 presidential election. During the committee's meetings with national intelligence agencies, Harris notes that the U.S. is under attack from campaigns aimed at dividing and undermining American democracy. These campaigns have been successful through exploiting the nation's hot-button issues such as LGBTQ rights, immigration, and race, which have long been points of vulnerability due to unresolved prejudice and discrimination. Harris's advocacy for social justice proves invaluable in the fight against these campaigns and their detrimental effects on American society.
As we reach the end of Kamala Harris's inspiring journey, it is evident that her passionate commitment to justice, equality, and the rights of underrepresented groups has driven her success as a prosecutor, attorney general, and U.S. senator. From fighting for healthcare reform and immigrant rights to advocating for criminal justice reform and social equality, Harris demonstrates the importance of empathy and resilience in the face of adversity. The Truths We Hold serves as a timely reminder that true leadership stems from a dedication to uplifting others and striving for a society in which opportunities are available to all, regardless of race, gender, or background. Ultimately, the book acts as a testament to the strides she has made in her career and an inspiration for individuals to create positive change in their communities and the world at large.